Hey guys, this video is about a broken door handle in a 2002 Hyundai Santa Fe. Most Hyundais has the same type of door locking mechanisms, so this is going to be pretty similar or helpful on any Hyundai. Basically, they use the same clips to lock in and stuff, and the same kind of principle. Alright, meanwhile, as you can see, I'm definitely dealing with broken, and here's a junkyard model. It's even as ugly as the one that broke, but needless to say, it will open the door. This one will not. Alright, so is it fixable? No. This thing's a piece of junk. And you see even the kickback spring and stuff, that whole assembly is still in the door. So let's tackle this, guys. Let's put having a broke door handle as your history instead of your current situation. Alright, here we go. Your first task, which will be pretty simple, is actually going to be to remove the actual door panel. It does have a few. It has 5 screws, one here, which will have a black or a gray tab on it. You stick something in there, pry that tab off of it. It's a Phillips head. You'll see a Phillips head sticking out here, and then there's one more hidden one right here. 1, 2, 3. Boom, take them out. Phillips head. Carman tip. You want a skinnier tip for this one. This is for the door handle. This is also a Phillips head. Take your time, make sure you have a good grasp on it, and clean out the top of the screw head before you try to take it out. Make sure you got a really good bite. And then you'll have yet another hidden one sitting back in here. Let's see if I've actually got this piece. Yeah, there it is. So it actually just pops off, and there once again is a Phillips head. Once you get that off, take you a little something thin and stick it underneath the bottom of here, pop it out, then you can actually pull the door out. And then as you see, this part right here across the top is actually laying or stuck inside that rail. So you'll just kind of work it and take it off. Voila! Magic, huh? Well, I already done that part, so that part's easy. Now let's investigate what actually happened with this thing. So let's come back in here. So as we see, the screws are actually still in it. It takes two 10 millimeters, which you could actually, if you can see right here, you could actually access this one. The one you're going to have a problem with is right here, because no matter, I'm sure there's that one person that can get their hand in there. I can't, so I have to actually move the, well, you can move the window regulator out of the way. I will attempt to do it with the, no, I'm not. I'm just going to move the window. The short way is the long way, guys. I'm moving the window regulator out. I mean, let's just put my hands in perspective to this door handle. As you can imagine, no, I do not have the, I do not have that type of small arm that I could actually fit into here. So let's just assume you're like me and can't fit in here. I'm going to show you how to get in here. If you can get in there, you are the man. You're the man. You're the... Okay, all right, enough singing. Meanwhile, wow. Okay, so this right here actually belongs. You see how it kind of goes? It goes right here. This just flips back or flips on. Actually, it'll flip like this if it was actually in place. So when you're taking this out, you'll just flip that down and then it'll come out. It goes kind of like this. But remember, when you put it back together, it's got to be inside that. Okay, so this is how it actually locks. And this is how they all lock. This one's more important because you're going to take this one out from down when you get the regulator out, when you're taking the handle actually out, and you get these 2 bolts. One here and one up here. Okay, let's go see what it takes to get my hand back in there. Dang it. Plus, I'll give you a tip when you get there of how to actually take one of these out of the junkyard if you only wanted to spend $8 fixing this like I do. Because I'm cheap like that. Don't judge. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is disconnect the actual glass from the window regulator, and you have an access hole right here, and of course plenty of access right here. So I'm going to roll down the window. Hopefully I can guess where it gets to about right here. Alright, let's see if I can get that. That's the first thing we gotta do. Okay, sorry guys, I didn't really get into the electrical connection either. It's kind of important. But it's just, this one right here is actually already broke, so somebody's been in this window before. But, try not to get you too drunk. In order to do this, I'm going to have to plug this in so I can operate this regulator. But I actually have to stand here and make sure that it actually works. So I'm going to plug this in, and then that way we can see where this regulator is going to come down and we can take this glass out. Alright, cool. Hang on. Okay guys, so it turns out you can't actually access it from up here where I was thinking you'd be able to after taking a look at it. There's one of them. And then you do have an access hole right here, and right in front of me, and my finger right there, is the other one. So these are definitely 10 millimeters. I'm going to take those out, and then I'm going to slide the window straight up and put a little bit of tape on it to hold it out of the way. Alright, so basically, this is all that it is. Two 10 millimeters, just like I said. When you pull it up, just put you a tape on either side, let it flip over the top. It will hold it out of the way. Let's see, taking a closer look here, the next challenge is going to be, I'm not sure that I even need to do this, but I'm going to unplug the regulator itself. And then I'm going to actually, you got some electrical stuff going on here, see it? See if I can actually get under that. It's kind of hard with one hand, but try to salvage it. Anyway, I'm gonna go through and go 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll do it. That'll pull that out of the way, and then I'll come up here and disconnect these two next. Okay, got the electrical harness out of the way, and it is completely out of the way, which is good because we need it out of the way. Next thing we're gonna do, take this. Now there's always like kind of, see how they just kind of pop over? Yes. Alright, so we're going to take this out, and we're going to take that one down. No problem on this, who goes where, because obviously it's a top and bottom type situation. Now, I happen to know that this bolt right here does not need to come out. That's the Phillips head, but the other 10 millimeters, let's count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's one more. There you go, 6. So I'm going to take these 6 10 millimeters out real quick. And then you see right here where it slid back. I'm going to see if I can slide that and kind of nurse her out of the way, just to give myself access to those 2 bolts. I don't necessarily need to take it completely out of the way. Remember, I just need my arm to be able to get in there to work. So these 6 bolts, slide it back, let's see what happens. Okay, so it turns out there's actually 7 little bolts and 1 nut. There's 1 nut on the job too. Meanwhile, you just slide the regulator back over top of this bracket right here that's holding it. You'll have to pop these loose. Use some tender loving care. But anyway, the regulator's out. What are we into this thing? 15 minutes now, so there's no regulator in it. Now, let's take a look at what we're actually dealing with. Oh, by the way, that's nice. I'm pretty sure that's part of the old door handle down there. Okay. So let's see if I can actually get to this bad boy. Yeah, I can get to it. I can get to it. So I'm going to take these 2 10 millimeters out right here that are already on there. Put the other one in, and let's see. I guess, let's see. So the handle I got, it depends, guys. If yours comes with this or without this. If you don't have this hanger, you might just be connecting this one. On this particular case, because mine came with everything except the bottom, I can just slide it in there and tack it in. Alright, so there you go. I'm going to put 2 10 millimeter bolts. I'm going to take these 2 10 millimeters out, and then I'm going to fish it through this. Make sure you're in this little bracket right here. Fish it down through there. Put it in here, and I'm going to flip that up. Then I guess we'll come back and see if the door works or not. It's always fun, that exciting moment, if and when. Alright kids, I shall be right back. Okay guys, let me take this key out of this car because it's annoying. Alright, this is going to be a Carman Tip 101-50. I just made that up. There's not actually a catalog and no one cares. Because no one cares what my tips are. So anyway, if you're in the junkyard and you want to pull this unit out by yourself, which is completely cool, but do bring you a little putty knife because, as you see this lip right here, after you take the window regulator out, by the way, if it need be, and you take those bolts out and you just want to manhandle that because you're in a junkyard and you cannot get the regulator down, you can pull it hard enough to pop the rivets out that hold the glass. Don't really recommend it, but you can do it. If you, all you really need is access to these two right here, if that's where you're at. Or you can take a little something and cut a little hole in the top of the door where you can get access to this. If you, I'm just saying, if you had to. If you can't, you can. That's all I'm saying. But regardless, ever how you gain access to it, you see this right here? So you're going to need to put this in and get it underneath it, and you're going to have to push that up because that's the only way this is coming out. If you pull this without releasing that tab, you are going to break it, and you do not want to do that, my brothers and sisters. No, no, no. So anyway, Carman Tip, whatever number that was, dash whatever number that was, it's in the books now. Hope you kids use it. Alright, so I'm going to fish this back in here. Looks like there's not a whole lot to it. I'm just going to go ahead and get this all the way down and out of the way. I'll just use my finger, I guess. Because no one actually cares. No one cares about anything when it comes to me. Nothing. That's why I'm a car guy. Alright. This may actually be easier to, let me see something here. Aha! This is going to be really hard to do with one hand. I'll just give you an idea. So I'm trying to do this with a camera and film it, but you see the end of it. I just need to put it in that yellow piece right there and then slide this bad boy in. It's going to require two hands, so children, use your imagination of how this actually works. I'm going to put the two bolts in, then we're going to come back and see if the actual door handle works. If it does, this is what we're calling a success today. Alright, so just chill for a minute. And voila, just like that, she's in and in. But anyway, guys, so look, this last bolt that's down here, word to the wise, read a book on virtue of patience, because it's very, even with this out, it's still very hard to access. And literally I mean, you could just keep going, but like literally you could take this whole locking mechanism out and then you might be able to actually access it right here. But man, what a pain, children. This is a pain in the rump. Alright guys, so you can get to it. It can be done. It was done right here. You've seen it first, second, third, depending on which video you just watched. Alright man, subscribe to the Carman, support your troops. Also, keep an eye on our playlist because we like to do crazy stuff like this. Meanwhile, we'll see you on the flip and on to the next project. Of course, I'm going to button this up and we'll see you later days.